On this episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, we're going to be talking about the Charlotte Hornets. Where are the rivalries at, y'all? We don't have any. We need them. We're going to talk about some of the teams that maybe not rivals, but have been playing the Hornets many times. Just got the teams that have been in certain divisions. We're going to look at basically probably about 5 teams. I'd say 4 really, but 5 with a little bit of a rivalry. We'll go from there. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. It doesn't cost anything. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that bell icon to get more content like this. Hello out there in YouTube world. Today on the Carolina Sports Guy, we're going to be concentrating on the Charlotte Hornets. How come there's no rivals? Well, going to kind of look at this. Going to go back and look at the year 1988, the first year the Charlotte Hornets existed. They were put in the Central Division. Now, I want to have some honorable mentions. These are teams that are really not rivals with the Hornets, but they were early on in divisions, and there's one reason or another, certain players or just certain areas of college basketball-wise, that some of these teams kind of had a following throughout the state of North and South Carolina. Number 1 would be Chicago Bulls. This is when Hornets come in the league. Jordan hasn't won a championship yet. He's starting to assert himself as being the best in the league. He's starting to put it together. Of course, at this time, Boston's kind of still at the top, wavering a little bit down. Detroit's kind of moving up. And Detroit and Chicago is going to be 2 teams the Hornets have to square off with a lot. But the overall record between the series between the Bulls and the Hornets, 74 wins for Chicago, 44 for the Hornets. But with having Jordan, it was definitely a big fanfare everywhere Jordan went, especially in Carolina. You can go to Carolina today, you still have Bulls fans here, and it's all because of Jordan. I remember before Jordan ever got drafted by Chicago Bulls, talking to people from Chicago. I had a good friend who's passed away in a car wreck. And he loved his Cubs, didn't like the White Sox, loved his Bears, loved the Blackhawks in hockey. He said he just didn't follow the Bulls. And I told him, this rookie you got coming in, Michael Jordan, it's going to change your mind. I didn't know he was going to be as big as he was, but yeah, he was special when he was at UNC. But I bring up the Bulls because, it's not really a rivalry, but, they play each other a lot. Second, Milwaukee Bucks. It's not really a rivalry either in this situation. 61 wins for the Milwaukee, 57 for Charlotte. Pretty close, neck and neck in the number of times they played. And they were in the Central Division for many years. Really can't connect the rivalry here. If Charlotte had more of a playoff history, maybe you could. Cleveland Cavaliers, 69-46 is the edge Cleveland has on Charlotte. And a lot of this has to do with the LeBron James years. Cleveland, and even when Charlotte first came in the league, Cleveland had some pretty good teams with Brad Daugherty and Mark Price. So even though Cleveland has sucked many years, most of the good years, Charlotte sucked and were getting creamed by Cleveland. Now, Detroit and Charlotte, there's a 60-58 edge by the Hornets. And I know you're thinking, well, man, when they came in the league, Detroit was on fire. It's true. But thanks to a 13-point, the 60-58 series lead by Charlotte over Detroit, you can really go back and look, because right now Charlotte is on a 13-game win streak against Detroit. And that's the one reason why they have the series advantage. Like I said early on, you go back when Detroit had, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boys and Isaiah Thomas and Vinnie Johnson and Joe Dumars and, just all the guys they had, Dennis Rodman, they dominated Charlotte. But in these last few years, from 2018 all the way to 2021, Charlotte has dominated Detroit. So it's kind of pretty much an even series, and even though we're not a rival anymore. I want to look at one team in the West. I say it's not really a rivalry, but there's a reason why I pay attention in this, I won't say rivalry, when these 2 teams get together. And that's the New Orleans Pelicans. Panthers and Saints hate each other in the same division, So why are the Pelicans, Hornets considered rivals? Because New Orleans took the original Hornets. They moved from Charlotte to New Orleans. It was 2 years before Charlotte would be given to Bobcats. And in that move, not only did they take the name, and of course they got the name Pelicans now, so they got our name Hornets back. Couple of drafts where they ended up picking before us. They got Chris Paul. We got stuck with Ray Felton. I think they won that deal. And then the year we were so bad, and we should have had number one pick. We ended up losing the lottery to New Orleans. And they get Anthony Davis, and we get Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. They won that deal. So it's not so much that we play them enough, or they should be a rivalry, but I guess it's because our team moved to New Orleans. They did have the name Hornets for a while before they switched to Pelicans. Thank God Tom Benson, before he died, saw that mistake, and we were able to get the name back. But I just bring them up. It's not really a rivalry, but it's just something, a little bit of hate towards them, I guess. All right, looking at the 5 rivalries. Now, number 5, you can think, well, why'd you pick them? It's my opinion, and this is why I really want your comments in it. It's Indiana. I know you're thinking, why Indiana? Why not Detroit? Why not Chicago? Or, Milwaukee? Why or Cleveland? Well, I look at Indiana because of the ABA days. The Indiana Pacers were an ABA team. Indianapolis' first professional sports team. In North Carolina and Virginia had ABA franchises, just didn't get into the NBA. And Indiana's a basketball state first, much like North Carolina in college. So early on, these two teams were in the same division. Indiana has an all-time series lead of 70 games to 47. Pacers have had a 9-game win streak over the Hornets from 2009 to 2012, while Charlotte's largest win streak was a 4-game streak in 2016. It just seems when these two teams get together, it's a tough game. Indiana has Charlotte's number, and I just see a likelihood between North Carolina and Indiana, Indianapolis, Charlotte, basketball teams. Kind of basketball started their professional lives in the state of North Carolina, the NBA, with the Pacers and then the Hornets. I put them there. Now, we get down to the 4 teams that we really need to look at. Orlando. Orlando came into the league in 1989, a year after Charlotte in 88. It's probably the best rivalry. It might not be hate there, but it's evenly split. They played 110 times. Charlotte's won 55. Orlando's won 55. Now, Orlando has been to the NBA Finals a couple of times where Charlotte hasn't made it that far, not even to the Eastern Conference Finals. But the Magic have 2 7-game win streaks against the Hornets, while the Hornets only have 1 5-game win streak. So it's been pretty split. Orlando's, like I said, they've had a couple winning streaks in there that have been longer than Charlotte's, but consistently Charlotte tends to win more. But it's overall 55-55. So we'll see what kind of rivalry can develop. I know they have Steve Clifford as a head coach. Some decent players there. Anthony Kidd that played at UNC is playing for Orlando. Number 3. Now this is the team that I hate the most in the NBA. Can't freaking stand them. Miami Heat. Why do I not like them? Well, they came in the league at the same time as Charlotte. And I know South Beach and people want to play in Miami and LeBron and the blah, 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 blah. Go back in the ABA days. Miami couldn't get 50 people in the damn arena. I understand it's changed a lot and it's an NBA town. But they came in the league together. And Miami's definitely had more success than Charlotte, and they built it the right way. So I can't bring them down about that. But Miami holds a 67-46 edge in the series. Hornets won the first meeting back in November of 1988. That was a 99-84 win for the Hornets. Miami did have a 16-game win streak over Charlotte from 2010 to 2014. You wonder why? Had a lot to do with LeBron James and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Just killed Charlotte. I mean, LeBron's always killed Charlotte. Charlotte's largest win streak has been a 7-game win streak over Miami. But just looking at this situation, that's my most hated rival. I think the Heat is a stupid nickname. I know if you're a Miami fan, you're going to look at us and see this as a joke, but Hey, NBA wanted in Charlotte more than Miami originally. We knocked our socks off in the expansion race. But Miami's kind of built it the right way with Pat Riley and the coaches. I can't knock them for that. They're more of a winning franchise. They seem to always be on top. But I'm just going to hate Miami. Number 2, I say is Washington. Like the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals, you live in Carolina with the Panthers, you hate the old Redskins football team, even though they're not in the same division, because you're stuck with their broadcasting rights in northeastern North Carolina. But Washington, the Bullets, now the Wizards, it's a 65-55 series lead for the Hornets. The Hornets actually have a series lead. The Bullets won the first meeting against the Hornets in 1988. They have one 6-game win streak. While, the Hornets have that one 6-game win streak, well, Washington has 2 5-game win streaks in the series. So the Hornets have a 10-game edge on Washington. Bullets/Wizards, same division now. Didn't start out that way. And maybe it'll develop. I've seen some issues in some games, and I'm not a fan of Washington. And growing up as a kid, I wasn't a fan of the Bullets because I was a Julius Erving 76er fan, but that's before the Carolinas ever had a pro sports team. Now, saying this, the number 1 team I have on this list is a rival, and probably will always be a rival, even though I hate Miami. I'd say this is a team I like to beat a lot too, even though it hasn't developed into a rivalry yet, and that's the Atlanta Hawks. 65-57 series edge for the Hawks. The Hawks won 11 in a row from 2012 to 2014. They also won 8 in a row from 97 to 99, so they've kind of had the Hornets number, and that's kind of pushed them with this 8 games winning more than the Hornets have. The Hornets have won a 7-game streak from 1999 to 2001. And it's probably going to be the biggest rival between these two because of the Charlotte-Atlanta rivalry. You're going to see it in the MLS between Charlotte and Atlanta. You see it between the Falcons and the Panthers. If Carolina's had a baseball team in the National League, you'd see it with the Braves and whoever Carolina would be. This is the one thing Atlanta and Charlotte probably are going to be rivals. Just haven't seen anything, no playoff. So this is one thing that would help Charlotte. If we could get in the playoffs and have some playoff wins where we're beating Boston one time in the playoffs, and Milwaukee was a tough encounter one time where we lost a tight series. If we can get in the playoffs and actually have a couple runs and play a team a couple of years in a row, whether it be Atlanta or Washington or Miami, which I'd love to be Miami, maybe Charlotte Hornets can develop a rivalry. But let me know what you think in the comments, who you think the Hornets should be rivals with, or who you think I'm wrong with on this list being a rival. It would be nice to develop one. In the meantime, I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell icon to get more content like this. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you want to see on the Carolina Sports Guy, and hit that thumbs up. And we'll see you again on the next episode of Carolina Sports Guy.